I hear that, you know, he'll be presidential, he'll be not presidential, he'll do this. It's very easy to be presidential. By the way, much easier, but I'm not playing a part. Look, I started off with 17. I'm down now, I'm winning it. It's over. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. These two guys cannot win. There's no path. So why would I change?
Let's get more now on the Trump path to victory, possibly. Paul Manafort is convention manager for Donald Trump. Paul, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Brett.
You buy that math?
I'm sorry, the math, it's good math. There are several ways to get to that number, but what I do buy is the end number. We're going to be over, and by June 7th, we'll be the nominee of the Republican Party.
Let me get your reaction to the news today of Ted Cruz announcing Carly Fiorina, if he gets the nod, that she will be the VP.
It's the second desperation move of the week. The first one didn't work, and this won't work either. I mean, frankly, she's been out there campaigning for him for the last month or so, so this is not a new addition to his team. And frankly, it's a bit strange that they would announce in Indiana, where she was known when she was in the private sector for outsourcing jobs, and outsourcing is one of the major issues in Indiana, and Ted Cruz has shown again that he's more focused on free trade than fair trade, and so I don't know if it's very smart to do this in Indiana.
Here's what she said just a few moments ago about your candidate.
You know, I think Donald Trump clearly has a problem with women. Clearly. I mean, the week we had a terrorist attack in Brussels, he attacked Heidi Cruz. One thing I'm certain of, if you have more big government, crony capitalism, which is what both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton promised to bring us, then we're going to continue to have record numbers of men out of work, record numbers of women living in poverty, and record numbers of young people who think the American dream is the figment of someone else's imagination but doesn't apply to them.
So clearly they're going to go after unfavorables with Donald Trump with women.
You look at what's been going on for the last 2 weeks and the vote that Donald Trump has been getting in the Northeast. He's doing 40%, high 40%, low 50s. You got 57% of the female vote in New York. This is an issue that's clarifying itself. As Donald Trump is out there campaigning on the issues, I'm not worried about it at all.
You know, you clarified with Chris Wallace here about your statements down in Florida to Republican leadership and rank and file about Donald Trump portraying something else. Is there a battle between getting presidential and his campaign style?
No, not at all. I mean, he said it last night. He said it on the campaign trail. I mean, we were talking in Florida about settings, not personality. And Donald Trump doesn't need to change. He's winning. And you saw it today in his speech in Washington on foreign policy. You know, the same Donald Trump. The speech he gave today framed his vision in foreign policy, but he's been making those same points on the campaign trail over the course of the last several months. There's not a new Trump. There are just new environments in which Donald Trump is speaking his positions.
Here's how Politico wrote it up. Donald Trump is bristling at efforts to implement a more conventional presidential campaign strategy and has expressed misgivings about the political guru behind them, Paul Manafort, for overstepping his bounds. Trump expressed concern after learning about Manafort's moves to bolster the campaign by bringing in associates from his lobbying days, as well as his pitch to leery Republican leaders. Campaign insiders say it has become increasingly clear that Trump, for all his boasts about his ability to become more presidential, is simply unwilling or perhaps unable to follow through and resents efforts to transform him.
That's the Ted. No, it's not fair at all. That's the Ted Cruz line, and obviously they're one of his sources. Donald Trump is running on issues as an outsider. He's talked about political corruption, a rig system. He's talked about the economic rig system. He's talked about the banking rig system. His issues haven't changed. And last night is another example. Not only is he continuing to win, he's winning bigger. You know, several months ago they said he couldn't break 30%, then he couldn't break 40%, then he couldn't break 50%. Now he's breaking 60%. His message is resonating. It's resonating in every section of the country, and that's why it's pretty apparent right now that he will be the nominee. And in one more week, I mean, I think everybody will recognize it. There's no candidate running for president today who can be nominated for president of the Republican nomination except for Donald Trump, period. That's it.
You're confident you can get to 1237 before the end. Are we going to see more of these teleprompter speeches about policy in the future?
That's going to be up to him. I mean, this setting made sense. He gave a great speech. He enjoyed the speech. He thinks he connected with his audience. The future will be decided as we move down the road. What is clear, though, is that he will continue to speak in all different environments, in all different settings, because now that he's becoming the presumptive nominee, there's something more than just campaign rallies that we have to take into account.
Paul, thanks for the time.